what I spend in a week as a 40-year-old living in Atlanta, let's get right into it. So I got my budget workbook right in front of me. This is my expense tracker. This is actually what I use to write down every single time that I spend money. So I use a cashless budgeting system, and basically I just use budget categories out of my banking, checking, and savings account. So what I do on my expense tracker is basically every time that I spend money, I write it down and I highlight it. The highlighters represent a certain color. The different colors is a certain category within my budget. So I'm going to be breaking down each one of my budget categories and telling you exactly what I spent in it this week. Starting off with my savings. Savings is a very, very, very important to me. I automate my savings. So anytime that I get paid, money goes into my retirement account, investment account, and then my personal savings account. This was actually a pay week. If you have not seen my paycheck, my biweekly paycheck budget video, I'm gonna link it after this video. You can go and watch it there to see exactly how I plan out that paycheck. But this week in savings, I saved $472.55. $108.76 went into my retirement account. $113.79 went into my investment account, and then $250 went into my personal savings account. And I get a lot of questions on how do you know how much to save and things like that. It's just at the beginning of the year, I just make a savings goal for myself, and I just break it down by paycheck because that's much easier for me instead of doing it week by week or month by month and doing a lump sum. I just split it up into paychecks, and what I do is I go to my job and I set up a direct deposit. So instead of me actually transferring that money out, I allow that money to come out of my paycheck automatically. So that way, if I don't see it, I don't have to spend it type of thing, because I just work better with that. I work with the money that's into my main checking account, and I just, spend from there. If I don't see that money and I don't have to transfer that money or do anything with it, it's automatically saving. I just love to do it that way. The next category is my home category. And this is mostly where my main bills are taken care of, or where I, put them inside of. And this week, I didn't have anything coming out for just my home category. I think the next thing that's coming out for my home category is my phone bill. My phone bill is actually due on the 20th. However, that money have not cleared through my banking account just yet. So that may be on the end of the month budget review video. So stay tuned for that. Or my next, I don't know if I'm going to do what I spend in a week, or just, ending the month off with the budget review, recapping the month. So $0 in the home category was spent. The next category is food. And your girl typically overspend in the food category. And I typically start to overspend near the end of the month, because I start realizing, okay, I have about $50 left more in my budget, because I'm using my spreadsheet and I'm using my workbook together to see how much money I have left. The spreadsheet is more so for me to see how much percentage-wise am I spending on my bills, my expenses, debt payments, what am I saving, things like that, because I want to get it to a point where I'm actually doing like the 50-30-20 method or whatever, but I'm not quite just there yet. But so that's what I use my spreadsheet tracker for. Now, I think I did pretty good this week on the food budget. So this week I spent $28.90, which usually, y'all know I am nearly like over the budget. I have to go back and look at my spreadsheet to see if I'm actually over the food total monthly amount. I don't necessarily think so, but then again, I could be wrong. So make sure you check out my end of the month, the budget review, to see exactly if I went over the budget or if I stayed under. The next category is transportation. This is basically where I just put gas in my car. Now, I'm on the insurance with somebody else, and he take care of that. I do also budget for my tag and my registration, but my birthday is not until October, so I will be more so budgeting that in quarter 4, I think that is. I think quarter 4 or whatever in October, basically, because that's only $25 and then $20 for the emission. So that's not something that I gotta like plan so far in advance for. That's something that I can actually just literally just pull out of my savings and then put that money back. So for transportation, I budget $50 a week. I filled up 2 times this week because y'all know your girl is back in that red car, and I told y'all sometimes the red car, you have to fill it up 2 times a week. And then plus I've been driving around. I've been going to the thrift stores. I've been doing different little things, going to events and stuff like that. And so I went over the budget. I spent $66.91 on gas. Hopefully I'm not over the total amount of, I think I'm budgeting $250. Let me go back and look. So for transportation, I'm budgeting $250 this month. So I'm hoping that I'm not over that overall budget, even though I went over the weekly budget this week. The next category is subscriptions, and 2 subscriptions came out. This $9.99, and I keep saying that it's Google storage because I had another $9.99 come out at the beginning of the month. So I got to go back and look at all of my subscriptions. I know I have CapCut, and then I know I have something else. Matter of fact, I can go right here and actually look on my phone to see exactly what all of the subscriptions that I actually have, because these subscriptions are getting out of hand. So I have CapCut for $19.99. Then I have the iCloud for $9.99. And then I have that TikTok shop coach, which was $5.99. So I'm thinking this one is actually the TikTok shop one. I don't know, because I got one coming out on the 21st for $9.99, and then one on the 6th that came out for $9.99. So I'm not exactly sure what is actually going on with this $9.99 stuff. I got to get to the bottom of it. I got to see exactly what's going on, or I may just have to do a what you call it, like a call the bank and tell them to cancel the payment type of thing. I don't know how much that'll cost. Hopefully that's nothing extra, but I may have to just do that to stop all of this Apple payments that's coming out of my account. Now, for subscription, I paid $16.51. That was for the $9.99, which I thought was the Google storage or the Apple storage for the phone. And then $6.52 for the, I'm thinking that's the TikTok shop thing. Maybe they are charging me an additional fee added onto the $5.99. I don't know. I'm thinking about going ahead and canceling that as well. So we'll see. Just stay tuned for next month, and I'll let you know if I cancel it or not. The next category is debt. Now, I told y'all that I did make a payment because all of my payments for my credit cards are set up on automated draft. But a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, it's not actually clear through the banking account just yet. So my Discover credit card minimum payment got paid or cleared through my banking account this week, which was $107.74. I also have to pay $4 to the Merit credit card because they just charged me $4 just for, I guess, having it open. My collections account was actually due as well. That's $115. And if you're asking, why are you paying off your collection? It's already done the damage that it has done. Yes, you are absolutely right. And the reason why I'm paying my collection account is because in order for me to get this house, they told me that because the debt was more than $2,000, I had to either pay that debt off or I had to go on a payment plan. So I opted for going on a payment plan, and I've been making $115 monthly payments until I actually can get that collection account paid off. Now, going into next month, I want to actually go ahead and just take care of this collection account, because I think what is left remaining on there is like $1,000 and probably like $700. I'm not exactly sure. The last time I checked, it was $1,818. So I feel like that is more doable than trying to pay off a $3,000 credit card. Although the credit card have the bigger interest, I feel like if I can go ahead and take care of that $115 payment that I'm paying every month towards the collection, I can use that $115 plus extra money that I'm making on the side to go ahead and take care of the Discover credit card, and I can get it paid off a little bit more, because I try not to use my own money with paying off this debt. But looking at $3,000, because I only have 2 credit cards left, $3,000 one that I have on my own, then I have a $9,000 credit card that I share with someone, and attacking that $9,000 credit card, I know that I'm gonna have to use some of my money on my own. So I just gotta get myself ready for that. So this week I also sent $200 extra, and I put that towards the Discover credit card because I just want to see it get down some, because it seems like once you make that minimum payment, the balance don't go nowhere, because most of that goes towards interest. So I did send an extra $200 to the Discover credit card, which total spent on debt this week is $426.74. So that wasn't so bad. And looking at my account, it wasn't, it didn't really hurt me to send an extra $200 over there. So maybe if I could just send an extra $200 out of my money and send majority of what I made from my side hustles over there as well, maybe I can start getting that Discover credit card paid down. If you have any suggestions how I could do that, please let me know in the comments. I'm open to any suggestions. Right now, with my side hustle income, what I'm doing is I'm putting 25% into savings. I'm putting 25% aside for taxes. I'm putting 25% back into the business because sometimes I have to go out and I got to buy things. I do reviews. I'm an Amazon influencer. I'm a fashion content creator as well. People like my outfits. I love sneakers, stuff like that. Anything I buy, I typically create videos or create content around it to, supplement, because I'm a content creator basically. So anything I buy, I record a video or I create content around it, so that way I can write that off at the end of the year, and that's what I'm using 25% on as well. And then the remaining 25% basically goes to myself, and I split that money between me, giving myself some money and doing what I want to do with it, and then me actually putting money towards debt. So I'm thinking maybe let's just not buy nothing for a whole entire month and use 50% of my income to actually put towards this debt, and then only put aside the money that is actually needed to run the operation, because a lot of the times I don't need the whole 25%. I have money sitting inside of that account rolling over as well, because that's typically what I do with my personal budget. So that's how I'm doing the business budget. If you have any suggestions, I am open to it. I'm not the expert here. I'm just trying different things and just seeing what's working for me, and I kind of like just stick with it. So let me know in the comments your input on how I should do that with paying off this debt. The last category is miscellaneous/fun spending. And I went thrifting. Like I said before, I went to the thrift store today, and not today, but I went to the thrift store this week. So I give myself $100 every single time that I'm paid. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, just depending on what all I have going on that week or that pay period or whatever. So I spent $13.88 at the first thrift store, and then $26.40 at the second thrift store. And I don't know if I did the a thrift haul video. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure if I did the video, because I literally just went like a couple of days ago. So I'm not sure if I actually did the video. If I did, make sure you go and check that video out. If I haven't, then stay tuned for that video and then check it out. Then I also got Klarna. I haven't had Klarna, make one payment when you're cashing out, and then you make the other payments over time. I use Klarna for my Shein purchase. Now, usually I work with Shein and I can just do a campaign and I can just, get my clothing through there. But I'm in a rush basically. Your girl have picked up some weight. I thrift all of my jeans. So that's typically what I get from the thrift store, is just pretty much just jeans. Now I need tops. The tops that I have in my closet, yeah, they fit, but because I have gained weight in that mid section, a lot of the crop tops, I'm probably just not a crop top girl anymore. I need the longer crop tops. I need something to cover my belly now. I don't have that six pack anymore. So it's like certain things that I'm still wearing, I'm not really liking on my new body that I actually have right now. So I did go out and I bought more pants for one, because I love Shein track pants and stuff like that. I did get me some bigger shirts. Majority of the items are shirts, and then I also like accessories from them. Y'all know I love a good hat. So I did buy me some like spring colored hats, because I don't have a lot of those. So I would definitely be doing a haul once those items come in. But I spent $32.64 on that. I think my total was like around $130, maybe $140. I'm not exactly sure. But I get to pay over time. $32 is interest free. So that's the only reason why I did it, because I thought that was a really good, deal. I'm giving myself $100 every time that I get paid anyway. So $32 every 2 weeks, I don't think it's a bad idea. And then if I run into extra money, I will just go ahead and pay it off, because sometimes I'm just like, girl, what is this $32.64? What is this? Let's go ahead and get this taken care of. And I just go ahead and pay it off. But so far, that's what I have spent on the miscellaneous/fun spending. And miscellaneous and the fun spending is basically items that I actually budget for and items that I did not budget for. So the thrifting stuff, I did not budget for those items, because typically I spend money from my content creator income for those things when I'm out and about. Now, so for miscellaneous/spending, I spent $72.92, which is a lot of money. It's basically probably over the budget at this point. If I'm being completely honest, it's probably over my fun budget. So maybe I just won't buy me a wig this month, because this month I did set aside $200 for a wig. So maybe I just put the wig on the back burner and try to get it next month, because I'm already over budget in some of these categories. So the total spent this week as a 40-year-old living in Atlanta is $1,084.53, which is a lot of money near the end of the month when I know mortgage is right around the corner, the next pay period. So that's all for this video. Once you sit down and you start categorizing all of these expenses and seeing exactly how much you are spending in each one of these categories, you will then realize that really you are not broke. You just don't know where your money is going. Bye.